know what, man? These fighters, managers, man, just listen to them talk. All of them, man. They be giving you little hints and shit. When I sat on that panel up there with inside the ring, man, and I heard what Max Kellerman was saying and stuff, that he don't think it was a duck and all of that, like, I'm like, oh, okay, Max. Now that I think about it, I'm like, what the hell was you insinuating, Max? You must know something, right? So then, I'm listening to, Keyshawn finally comes out and shit, and he's like, oh, we'll see where this path takes me, or some shit he said. I don't know it verbatim, but something along those lines. And I'm like, what path you trying to go on? Now that I think about it, I'm like, okay. So then I'm putting it together. I'm like, all right, Jay got Shakur. He's over at Zufa. He getting paid crazy money at Zufa. If you go back and you really think about the fight that he had with Albright, okay, who he blamed for the fight? He blamed his promoter. He agreed to the damn fight, but he blamed his promoter. I'm doing this because of my promoter. Complaining and shit. There's the reason why I got to do it because of my promoter, whatever. He put all the blame on their ass like he ain't had nothing to do with it. And his ass, truthfully, right, wanted to get this fight so that way he can handle one of his engagements on his contract. Well, Keyshawn, it's a possibility he could be towards the end of his damn contract. Yeah, with TR. So, why take a Devin Haney fight, for that amount of money, and then, take a L, possibly take a L. Now you lose your negotiating tool, because now you lost. I see what you doing, player. You are not slick. Yeah, you or your managers. I see what y'all doing what Hitchens did when Hitchens pulled out the Duarte fight. Yep. Oh yeah. And see, you willing to take less money because you gonna be guaranteed. It's almost guaranteed to win, right? There ain't no guarantees. But if you fight a fighter of I don't know, I'll make up a name, Buddy Love or whatever.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to put all the pieces together, bro. Y'all heard what Timothy Bradley said, right? Timothy Bradley predicting that Keyshawn Davis is trying to pull off the same thing that Richardson Hitchens pulled off, allegedly. This is what people believe. That he canceled his fight against Oscar Duarte February 21st on the undercard. I believe it was the co-main event. Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios. A lot of people believe that Richardson Hitchens pulled out of that fight due to the fact that he was making a deal with Zufa Boxing. And if he lost that fight with Oscar Duarte, this would be a real bad look going towards Zufa Boxing. If he was already signed to Zufa, it's a bad look coming over to Zufa with a loss. If he was in negotiations with Zufa and already signed for this fight with Oscar Duarte, then maybe they told him to pull out of the fight because it's too much of a risk. That's what some people believe, okay? Timothy Bradley, and I'm not saying I believe that. I'm just giving you what people are saying. Timothy Bradley comes out and says that maybe Keyshawn Davis is doing the same goddamn thing. He's doing the same thing here. Maybe he doesn't want to take this fight with Devin Debo Haney, because if he loses, it looks bad, especially when it comes to negotiations in his new promotion company signing over to Zufa Boxing. Or maybe he's already signed to Zufa, which would be illegal because he's signed over the Top Rank right now. But maybe he already has plans set in place for him to sign to Zufa, and Zufa's telling him, or he's telling himself, to not take this fight with Devin Haney because it looks bad. Coming over, if he loses, it looks bad for Zufa Boxing. Okay. So y'all heard what Timothy Bradley had to say, right? I'm going to go a different route with this. No matter what, Keyshawn Davis has ducked Devin Haney, and he ducked the biggest opportunity of his career. He's a straight up duck, ladies and gentlemen. But if this news that is circulating the boxing world, the Zufa news, if this news is true, I'm not sitting here saying that it's 100% true, okay? Timothy Bradley and us, we got our own beliefs. But I've been telling you guys that Keyshawn is going to sign to Zufa Boxing as soon as his promotional contract ends with Top Rank. Wow. You got guys like Blue Blood out here making the statements that Keyshawn Davis has one fight left on his contract. So, I've got to show you a clip. And then, after this clip, we're going to continue to feed information and give you guys a different route that I think may be even more possible than what Timothy Bradley is talking about. But still being signed over to Zufa Boxing. Ladies and gentlemen, check this out.
Thoughts just started coming of how I need to get back in the ring. Because what people don't know is I changed my whole team around. Like, yes, I changed my whole team, like management team. I'm gonna save that to after the fight, but management
and this is
team,
gonna come out after the fight, just so you
this
know.
coming out after the fight?
I'm not, because I don't want nothing to interfere with the fight. Right. So the date, so Saturday you fight, this drops Monday. We're having a real conversation after the fight. It's gonna drop that Monday, celebrating the win
type shit.
You understand me?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to. You said you changed your team after that time.
Yeah, for sure. I changed everything. Like I was talking to God. I'm like, God, I'm not going back into this sport how I just left. I'm not. Everything got to change, and that's what happened. Literally, that's literally what happened. Like my first fight back was just January, and it was under a turkey card. Under a new management team.
Y'all heard that, right? I've been sitting on that clip for more than 3 months. I remember that statement in the back of my head. I have not forgot it. I haven't used it in a single one of my videos. I've been waiting for the perfect moment. So now when you got everybody making these claims, the rumors going around boxing, let's feed to them. That was Keyshawn Davis in an interview before his Nahir Albright rematch, the fight that he never wanted, the fight that he put the blame on Top Rank. Even though he owes Top Rank for what he's been doing while signing under them, being the main event of his own Norfolk, Virginia card, missing weight, having that fight canceled, then all the commotion and everything else that he's been putting himself into, ladies and gentlemen, including everything that just happened with Devin Haney. Keyshawn straight up ducking him, turning down this opportunity. Keyshawn, in that video, said, what a lot of people don't know is that I changed everything around me. I changed my management team and I changed my... And then he doesn't say nothing. He says, oh, well, I'll announce that after my fight this Saturday against Nahir Albright. It sounded like he was going to say promotion company, ladies and gentlemen, but he didn't say it. He thought twice. Bro, y'all know that there's an extension clause in high-level fighters, especially fighters who are on the verge of becoming a world champion. Y'all know that these promotion companies sign these fighters and put them under these contracts where there's an extension clause involved. What's an extension clause? A championship extension clause? If, for instance, you're Keyshawn Davis, okay? If you win a world title on your last fight of the contract, you are automatically extended to have 2 to 3 more fights with that promotion company, just like that. Due to the fact that these promoters, they put this inside their contracts because they feel like, all right, we signed you, we put you in the position to get this world title. We give you the opportunity to fight for the title, you win it, now you owe us a couple more fights, okay? It's the same thing that they did with Teofimo Lopez, Top Rank. That's why Teofimo Lopez was coming out saying, that Keyshawn Davis possibly is having trouble with his own promotional company. Mikey Garcia was having problems with Top Rank and that goddamn extension clause. The difference is he was willing to stay with Top Rank. He just wanted to renegotiate the details into that extension clause. Sat out for years, went to war with them, right? So Timothy Bradley says that it's because of the Richardson Hitchens way. But I'm saying it's possible that Keyshawn Davis, who people are reporting that he's on his last fight of his contract, if this is true, he ducked a Devin Haney fight. First of all, because the pay wasn't enough. This all ends up coming down to the money. This all ends up coming down to the money. Keyshawn is a sellout. He ducked Devin Haney. He ducked the world title opportunity, possibly, because if he's signing over to Zufa Boxing, and those are his plans, he can't win a world title. If he wins a world title, his promotion contract is automatically extended. Then what is Keyshawn gonna do? He's stuck with Top Rank for another amount of multiple fights. Ladies and gentlemen. So, maybe you look at it and you say, Keyshawn Davis probably got an offer worth a lot of money, or he doesn't want to fight Devin Haney for $3 million, nor even $4 million, because Bill Haney said he'll give him $1 million out of his pocket. He wants to be overpaid, so he's gonna sign over to Zufa, where they're overpaying people, rather than take this fight with Devin Haney right now at this moment and only get paid a little bit of dollars. Maybe the reason that Max Kellerman was speaking about this on Inside the Ring, maybe because he's involved with Zufa Boxing, maybe Zufa has told Max something, that something's going down behind the scenes, yet they don't want to announce it. Y'all seen that clip that I showed you. You understand where Timothy Bradley's coming from, but y'all now you guys see it from my point. Keyshawn Davis is still a duck, bruh, but it's still highly possible that the man not only ducked Devin Haney and this big opportunity, but he ducked his own promotion company. And he doesn't want to win a world title under Top Rank because of that goddamn extension clause. And because the money's just not worth it. Obviously, he might. I'm not saying this is true, bruh. This might end up coming out and being completely false. Or I might be completely right. But maybe this guy has a bigger offer, or he sees more money on the table when he's signed to a different promotion company rather than being under the promoter of Top Rank and going to a purse bid. Maybe he feels like he's going to get more of his worth being signed under Zufa. Ladies and gentlemen, so y'all seen the clip that I showed you? It sounded like the man was going to say promotional company. All the pieces are starting to get put together. Timothy Bradley could be right, but I honestly think my argument, it makes more sense, bro. It makes more sense. Keyshawn Davis looking to sell out to Zufa Boxing. He's selling out, bro. If y'all haven't been a supporter of Zufa, but you're a supporter of Keyshawn Davis, get ready, because your favorite fighter might just become a Zufa boxer. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have to see how this all ends up playing out. But after hearing what Timothy Bradley had to say, after Blue Blood saying that this guy only has one fight left on his contract, I started to put all the pieces together, and I be reminded of that extension clause that's always in these promoters' contracts. And I think about Keyshawn Davis and what it means if he were to win a world title, how that would change everything. My goodness, man. I want y'all to let me know in the comments. No matter what, Keyshawn is still ducking. He's ducking all over the goddamn place. But just maybe, there is a backup plan for Keyshawn. And that's signing over to Zufa Boxing. Now, if I'm Top Rank here, bro, and I know for a fact that my fighter who has already did me wrong and now is doing me wrong again, I offered him money that he was worth, because at the end of the day, this comes down to the money, and Keyshawn wants to get paid more money than what he's actually worth. But if I'm Top Rank And Keyshawn Davis is my fighter, and he wants to do these type of plans. Bro, I ain't giving him that Brian Norman Jr. fight. I ain't giving him a fight that's going to set him up for the #1 opportunity to be placed as the mandatory eventually, right? He already got ordered to face Devin Haney. Who knows? He beats Brian Norman Jr. He shoots right back up to that #1 position. Becomes the mandatory, but wants to fight him under the Zufa promotional company so he could get paid more money for that fight. But that's bad business, bruh. When it comes to relationships. And who even knows if the WBO and everybody's gonna oblige, ladies and gentlemen. We might end up seeing lawsuits everywhere. But let me know what you guys think, ladies and gentlemen. This is the MMA Boxing Addict channel bringing it to you. No matter what, Keyshawn Davis is a duck, but there could be more to the story. Y'all know I got to be real and I got to speak the truth. Let's see where this all ends up happening. If it ends up not coming out to be true, Timothy Bradley's completely wrong, I'm completely wrong, then the man is still a flat-out duck. Still a flat-out duck, but with no backup plan. Because Bobby Rim originally said there was no backup plan, but maybe there's a plan that he's not involved in. I want y'all to let me know in the comments what you guys think, man. I'm out.